This video is presented by the EA Creator Network. Welcome back to my channel and to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Today's video we've got a lovely family cottage in innisgreen using the new Enchanted by Nature expansion pack. So thank you again to the EA Creator Network for the code so that I'm able to create a build for you guys. If you are interested in playing with this build yourself, it is on the gallery right now. My gallery ID is cosylee, like C-O-S-Y-L-E-E. So it's available. You can download it and play with it if you've purchased the game or if you're planning on purchasing it later. It's waiting for you. But now that the pack is out for everybody, let me know in the comments. Have you guys purchased the pack? Are you waiting for a sale? Are you waiting for a birthday? What's the deal? Let me know in the comments if you guys have already got it. If you have not already got it yet, though, now is a great opportunity for me to share my EA code. If you are going to buy the pack, feel free to use my EA code cosylee at the checkout. It just helps me out and supports me as a creator, so I would really appreciate if you did pop that in there. But let's talk a little bit about this build. So this build, I really wanted to experiment with the whole curved roof aspect, kind of like the continuation of the roof through that second floor. I really wanted to make it work, and I am so happy with how it came out. I think this house, like, curb appeal wise, is so cute. I'm obsessed with it. I'm hoping like the Sims that I'm playing with can maybe move into this house in the future because I think it's adorable. I think it's a good family home as well. I did set it up for there to be a child in the one room, and then there's like a double bed in the other bedroom. So it is a 2-bedroom home. Actually, look, I'm laying it out upstairs. We've got 2 bedrooms and then the bathroom in the middle on that second floor. Downstairs here, we've got our big entryway. It's kind of like massive for the size of house this is, but we've got our entryway, and then I've got like a little reading library room to the right, and then in the back corner, back right corner there is the living room, and then we've got the kitchen, and then the dining room is over on the like jut out on the left side of the house. So we've got a little bit of everything. Oh, and an apothecary room, of course. That room at the back of the house that kind of like pops out, that is the apothecary room. So got a little bit of everything with a main focus on the aspects from this pack. I feel like as I do more builds with Enchanted by Nature in innisgreen and everything, I feel like I'll probably slowly start like adding in bigger aspects from other packs. This definitely is not a limited pack build. Just saying, it is not at all. But I think like as I do more builds, I'm like slowly adding more aspects. Like this one is still heavily focused on like, okay, the Sims here, they're like, there's an apothecary room, there's a huge garden in the backyard. Like that is the purpose of this house, is to grow your plants and then apothecary. Make your elixirs and your everything, like your cures and whatnot. So that's kind of still the purpose of this house, but I'm sure I'll like be adding a whole bunch of different aspects, like maybe like eco lifestyle aspects, or like cottage living would work super well as well. So we're slowly straying, but with still huge main focus of the pack that just came out. So this build has got a little bit of everything here in terms of the build items, but I am still mainly using a lot of the Enchanted by Nature items, and I just want to say that I think they are so freaking cute. I am loving building these houses. Like I said, I'm so happy with how this one came out. Like the curb appeal of this one is so cute. I'm so happy that I was able to figure out this roofing, because I was a little nervous with trying the curved roofs, but I figured it out. I learned how to do the Shift C thing so that I can get the extra curve aspects to it, which I think I had learned like a few years ago and then proceeded to immediately forget about it. So I relearned that information, and it definitely saved this build because what I had envisioned is what I have here, but what when I first started fiddling around with it, I was like, how do I do it? Oh my gosh, but I figured it out. So if you don't want to figure that out for yourself, maybe just download my build from the gallery. But please let me know, guys, in the comments, like, what are your thoughts about the build items and the gameplay and the create a sim and everything now that it's been a few days since the pack came out. What have you guys been up to, like, since it came out? Like, what are you playing with? Are you doing the fairies? Are you doing apothecary stuff with the whole career? Are you building? Are you just stuck in Create a Sim? Like, I know I got super stuck in Create a Sim when I first tried to do some gameplay. I was like, okay, I gotta make my fairies, and then it took me like 3 hours. So yeah. I'm so happy with how this build comes out. Just watching it being built, like the windows and the curved part at that front that has like the bark on it, like that was my vision for it, was just having that curve with the like the way it turned out. I'm just so happy with how it turned out. So I think it's super cute. But I do want to share with you guys an absolute tragedy that happened while I was building this build and trying to get this video for you guys. After this story, if you're not hitting that like button, I'm gonna be so sad because I've worked so hard in this video to get this out for you guys. I went in, I started building, I got all the walls, all that roofing, because you know how I told you it took me a few tries to like get the roofing good and figure out how to do the curves. So that took me probably like a good 40 minutes to just do the walls and the roof the first time I tried. Notice I'm saying first time. Hint, hint. And then I look over at my OBS, that's where I record my videos from, for anyone who doesn't record videos. I look over at it and I'm like, oh, cool, it's not recording. I love that for me. But now that I've figured out how, like, the layout of it, like well, not like the inside layout, but I got the walls, I figured out the roof. I was like, I can recreate this easy now that I've done it once. Like, I know what I'm doing. So I just took a picture of it, like on every angle and everything. And I was like, I'll just recreate it. It's fine. So I just bulldozed it. Full send, bulldozed. And I was like, that's fine. I'll just do it again. No worries. 23 minutes later, I am doing the build. I got to the same point where I was at, so it took me a lot less time this time. Great. I'm like, okay, let's do some wallpaper now. We're really not that far into the build at this point. And then my game crashes. I sat there for like a minute, just disbelief. Like, I was like, did that just happen? Like, on my second attempt trying to fix my video that wasn't recording, I went in and it's just gone. The build is gone. So I'm like, great. Now I don't have the build saved, so I have to build it again anyways, even though I have the footage. So I'm like, well, let's go again. So this version that you are seeing is version number 3, but also the only version that exists of this cottage. So now that you know the pain that I've gone through, that wasted an hour of my life, just so you guys are aware. Now that you know the pain that I've endured, hopefully you appreciate this build and speed build so much more. So again, if you liked the video, make sure you actually hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. It was definitely a painful moment for me though, but we figured it out. The build's done. It's on the gallery. The video's here. You guys are watching it, so all is good in the world. Everything is fine. As you can see, we are decorating the inside now. I kind of went with the same idea as like my last video where I kind of do the landscaping later. Normally, like, I'm not usually doing that, but recently it's like, okay, let's get into decorating inside, and I'm pretty happy with that choice, going back and forth between the outside and inside. Maybe I just can't stay on task. That could be it. But I feel like it gets to the interesting parts of the inside more because I mean, I love building the outsides and making the curb appeal look really cute. But I think in terms of what you guys like to see, I feel like you enjoy watching the decorating inside a little bit. So it's probably a good thing that we're getting to it pretty soon in the video. But what you would have already seen is that front corner room, the little library room. That is by far like my favorite room in this house. I think it looks so cute. The color scheme and the layout of it and the curved wall, it turned out exactly how I imagined. That was like the only room that I really had envisioned for the entire build before I really like started going into it. I was like, I want this curved wall. I want it to be like the bark so it looks like a tree. I want it to be a balcony on top because it looks super cute that way from the outside. And then inside I want it to be a cute reading room, like a reading nook, if you will. So I'm very happy with how that turned out. I was struggling with choosing like chairs and stuff for that room because of the curved wall. I will say the window was a little glitchy though because I hit the button that you can like show only windows that worked on curved walls. So I did that and I was like, this window works, perfect. But then on the inside it was glitchy, so I just chose to ignore it and pretended like it wasn't glitching. Because it looks nice from the outside and that was more important to me. So I just like shielded my eyes and looked the other way. So hopefully that didn't bother too many of you, but it's probably easy enough to swap it out to another window that is a little better. This is the living room here. I kept it very green themed. The last build I did was very orange themed, so I'm going back to my roots. I love the color green. Got all the plants. I mean, the whole like Enchanted by Nature is like very much plant garden inspired. So green I think was the way to go. And yeah, I'm loving how this living room is laid out though. I actually was having some trouble with it because I wanted that fireplace to be centered, but you can't put a TV on it. So I was like, okay, let's put it to the side, but it took me a minute to kind of figure out that's where I wanted it to go. I even added a little aquarium. I was going to do the piano, but then it kind of like came out too far and was messing with the chairs. I would have probably preferred the piano because it's a skill item, but you know, fish are cool. So we went with fish instead. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. It's fine. A skill item would have been nice. But I did add a little bar, like the small one tile bar item. I did put that in the corner of the room and I think it looks really cute in that little bit of a purple color. So there is some mixology that your Sims can be doing in the living room there. And then this is our little kitchen here. I did kind of a U-shaped kitchen. And I used more green, of course, because that is the theme of this house. And I used the new kitchen set. So if you haven't seen the build items of this pack yet, there is a whole new kitchen set here. We've got like the cabinets and the sink as well. There's also like bathroom items too. So there's a toilet, a bathtub, and a shower. So there's those plumbing items. I will say that the the shower and like the tub and the toilet are very outdoorsy, so probably useful for fairy builds or like campgrounds or somewhere just really overgrown. But just so you guys are aware of that. So I didn't end up using the toilet in this build because we're inside of what I want to imagine it as is like the normal family home type thing. And then like for this specific build I did it in Spruce Dairy Grove. The last build that it was like Everdew, so very like heavily fairy. This is a fairy house sort of thing, but this one being in Spruce Dairy Grove, I think my understanding, I could be wrong, my understanding of the neighborhoods is Spruce Dairy Grove is for like kind of like the in-between, like you're not a fairy probably, I mean you could be but you're not really, but you're like super still into all the nature aspects and everything. And then the other neighborhood that's in there, well, we have the Everdew with the fairies, but then the third neighborhood, what was it called again, Coast of Admore, I believe is what it's called. That one is kind of like the most of the normie neighborhoods. They keep calling the Sims normies in here as I've been doing some gameplay. I've noticed that, so that's why I'm using that wording. But I guess in that neighborhood, it's like the most normal of all the neighborhoods. So this is kind of like the middle ground. So I wouldn't go full send with the grass toilet, but maybe an ever do. It's okay if you get it. But lots of plants, and we still kept it very enchanted. I was realizing while I was editing, though, this footage that this table, I had in my mind, I was gonna put those chairs for babies, whatever they're called. Let me know in the comments. My brain is not working. At the dining table, or toddlers, whatever. Not babies. Regardless, I forgot to do that. Clearly, it's not here in the footage. So there's just like a missing chair at the table. So my bad. Oops, it's already on the gallery for like a day now, so it's too late. It's there. But if you are downloading the build, there's a missing chair. So you can either add one more chair or add the baby chair. High chair. I figured it out. I mean, maybe you've already commented it. If so, that's okay. But yeah, totally forgot that. But that's okay, because I realized in my other build that I did the other day, I forgot a fridge. But you know what? It's actually okay, because fairies don't need to eat food. They like absorb emotion. So if you haven't gotten the pack yet and you're not really sure how fairies work, you like absorb Sims emotions or used bottled emotions, or you just go back to the little fairy homes and like regenerate your emotional whatever it's called. So they don't need to eat food though, which is kind of interesting. So you don't need a fridge. You don't even need a stove. So like kitchen just is unnecessary for fairy Sims. So it's probably okay that I forgot a fridge. Probably, maybe. That's what I'm going with. This build has a fridge though, so don't worry about that. Oh, here's our little apothecary room. So yeah, I wanted that kind of off the back of the house with its own little entrance out onto the back deck as well, so it's a little quicker to go zoop out to the garden area, which you'll see we'll decorate in a little bit. I have like all the different planters, and I also use some of those eco lifestyle vertical planters because, like I said, not a limited pack build. We're going all out on this one, but still keeping it to theme. And I found those are going to be like super useful just for adding a little bit of interest to the garden as well. Yeah. Oh, I also had one here. I don't know if it's functional though. I feel like it might not be because it's a little close to the table there, but I think it looks cute in there even if there's nothing in it, just saying. You see those chairs that I just put around that campfire? Those are similar to what the toilet looks like. So just keep that in mind. Sigh. But looks like we're gonna be doing some landscaping in a moment, so perfect. I was already talking about the backyard anyways. So with the landscaping, I did obviously go into debug again. If you had watched my last video, you've probably heard this whole spiel. But there are only 2 new plants that came with the pack in the openly readily available build by menu. But if you go into debug, there is a lot more plants available. So all these plants that I'm using right here, like those green, grassy, whatever they are, the little lollipop plants, all the trees there, they are all tagged as enchanted by nature. But if you don't know how to get to debug, all you have to do is open up your cheats menu. So it's Control-Shift-C, and then you type in bb dot, like a period, bb dot show hidden objects, and then there's another one called bb dot show live edit objects, and then you hit enter on both of those when you type it in. It individually, don't type them in all in one thing. Those are separate cheats. And then when you go to the search menu, you can just type in debug. You can see that on my screen in the corner there, actually, that I'm in the debug menu. So you just type in debug, like DEBUG, and then you hit on any of the search options, just click any of the buttons, and then you can filter it by pack, or you can just scroll on forever. It's very long debug, especially if you have a lot of packs. But what I did is I just filtered it by Enchanted by Nature, and it shows me every single Enchanted by Nature item that I can have access to, whether that's in the normal build by menu or in debug menu. It'll show you everything. So those, like the rock wall is a debug item, and then all those plants are as well. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful for anyone out there. But generally just look up Sims 4 cheats if you're ever looking into that stuff. There's guides online, so yeah, useful for plants if you want to kind of try to keep a limited budget, because plants tend to be $0. Not always, but tend to be $0 in debug, which is really handy. Really handy, especially if you want to make something really lush, but keep it in budget, you know? But yeah, added lots of variety of planters. We've got the circle planters, the square planters, and then the vertical ones as well, just to keep things a little interesting. And then I also fenced in that whole area just to keep it separated, and I used one of the new little rock path tile item that came with the pack. I think it looks super cute. I love the pattern. I almost wish it was like halfway transparent though, so that the grass underneath would show up through it. I feel like that would be kind of interesting, just having the rock formation, but I feel like that probably doesn't function with a wallpaper or flooring, like having it be that way. But I think that would have been really interesting. That's why I had kind of it fenced off, so that it didn't look so abrupt when the tile ends. But I love the pattern on it. I think it's so super cute. Now we're in the upstairs here. We've got 2 bedrooms, like I said earlier. We've got the main primary bedroom with the double bed, again sticking with the green theme. And then over in this room here is the like toddler infant room. Actually, I think that's the toddler bed I went with. But I want it to be super foresty and cute. When I first saw this bookcase with the tree, my immediate thought was, oh my gosh, that's gonna be so perfect for a kid's room or like a library, which I really want to build one of those, but that might not be anytime soon. We'll see. But I just thought that would be so super cute. So I was like, okay, this is the build I'm going to do. I'm going to do a family home, a family cottage, and I'm going to utilize it in here. I will say it is definitely clipping through the roof. It is meant for a medium wall height, I've learned. But I decided I don't care, because if you're playing in the game, you're probably playing with your walls half down anyways. Like, you're not going to tell that it's through. I did fix that part that's going through the roof though, just so you are aware. I did fix that. I moved it in a little bit. But like the part that's going height-wise through the roof, because the roof is there, you can't see it coming out the top, so it's fine. But when you're inside playing, like you're not gonna notice. So I was just like, shh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Shh. In terms of the bedrooms, I just added like little bit of decoration, like the dressers, a little chair, I added a bookcase in this bedroom here because there was like some space, and I thought it looked like a cute little corner there. Clearly these Sims love books because they have a library downstairs, and it clearly overflowed to the upstairs. But I added some decorations on their little dresser as well. I just used, I think that's a Seasons dresser for this room. I thought it looked quite nice with this build though, because it has like that kind of floral design on it. But then in the kids' bedroom, I used that two-tiered, that's the word, dresser that came with the pack. And then here is the bathroom. So as you can see, there's the tub that I was talking about. It's got the mossy vibe to it. So I did use that one, but I used the Realm of Magic toilet because I felt like it was fitting. I think Realm of Magic kind of goes really well with the Enchanted by Nature pack. And then I used that cute with the mirror with the cute plants around it. I love that mirror. I think it's so pretty, and I definitely want to try to use that as much as I can. I know that like some of these items are going to be a little tougher to use, but I really love nature inspired builds anyway, so I will make it work. I promise. Like I can imagine even for a teen room, you know how like people will get fake plant vines and like put that around stuff. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking. And then I did squeeze in a computer, a little desk here at the top of the hallway, just so that there is like some functionality. It's always good to have a computer in a sim house. I don't know if you guys saw, but I did actually put those little posters of the flower press on the walls in the bedroom, as well as one of them was above the desk there. So I just wanted to point those out because there is a flower pressing aspect to the pack. I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, so let me know if you've tried it out and if it's like kind of a fun activity for your Sims. I did access those through the debug menu, but I think it's cute. Those were really nice photos, so I'm definitely gonna get my Sims to do that in my own like playthrough with the fairies and everything because I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. Yeah. It looks really cute anyways, like the outcome of it is I think worth it. At this point in the build I realized that I didn't quite finish all the landscaping. Like I did the backyard, but the front of the house had no planters whatsoever. Like there was no plants, nothing. So I did go in, add that. I added like the little mailbox, of course. It was gonna add the default one anyway, so I may as well get the cute one that came with this pack. And just added a few more planters for you to put your like various herbs and everything that's needed for your apothecary skill. But yeah, like I said before, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this pack. If you've gotten it already or if you're waiting for a sale, let me know. If you are going to purchase it though, feel free to use my EA code at the checkout. It is cosylee. So thank you again to EA for the code for this pack. I really appreciate it. It's been so super fun making these videos for you guys, so I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you guys in another video, I'm sure. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, the like button, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!